Hi everyone, Bernard here. Hope you're all well. This is the latest little information video or vlog on what's available at the UK cinema. So this is from 6th of March 2020. So if you're in the UK, this is what you can expect to see at your local cinema, or obviously some of these are more limited release, you'd have to check. And obviously if you're outside of the UK, some of these may be already available for you to watch. So please seek them out. This is just little information. Is any particular film you're looking for? Obviously, I'll put a link to the what minutes in to the video the information is, so you can just watch that little segment if you want. Please, if you've not done so before, push your subscribe button. That'd be great. Push the bell notifications. And please just takes a split second just to put a thumbs up. It's always great, nice to be appreciated, and great to see those thumbs up when I do these little videos, information videos, specials, etc. Anyway, let's talk about what we've got today. We've got 6 new films out in the UK this week from the 6th of March. I'll start with a biggie one, which is Blumhouse's Fantasy Island, or simply Fantasy Island. 15 rating, an hour and 49 minutes. It's a supernatural horror directed and co-written by Jeff Wadlow, based on the reimagining, of course, of one of my favourite series of the 70s, the 1977 ABC's television series of the same name. It stars Michael Peña, Maggie Q, Lucy Hale, Austin Stowell, Portia Doubleday, Jimmy O. Yang, Ryan Hansen, Parissa Fitzhenley, and Michael Rooker. What's it about? Well, it's of course, the enigmatic Mr. Rourke makes the secret dreams of his lucky guests come true at a luxurious but remote tropical resort. But when the fantasies turn into nightmares, the guests have to solve the island's mystery in order to escape with their lives. Any good? Well, so far, I mean, obviously on its release outside of the UK, because I say it's only going to be released in the UK this week, it's had a budget, quite a low budget of only 7 million. It's actually took at the box office 35 million, so it's done pretty well. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds an approval rating of just 10%. That's 10% based on 72 reviews, and only has an average rating of 3 out of 10. The website's consensus reads, Fantasy Island tries to show audiences the dark side of wish fulfillment, but mainly serves as a cautionary tale about the danger of exhuming long-dead franchises. Not very good. On Metascore, the Metacritic's rating, the film has a weighted average score of 2.1 out of 10 based on 26 critics. So again, very poor. And it ranges anything between a 0 out of 10 and 4.2 out of 10. The kindest review comes from the AV Club's A.A. Dowd. He gave it a 4.2 out of 10. Went on to say, the thriller framework aside, Fantasy Island probably works best as a comedy, at least when it's not trying to be one. So again, not very good. Joe Public, who watched it, again, still 4.7 out of 10 Internet Movie Database rating, which is pretty poor. And some of the comments on it, on the Fantasy Island, got me thinking, but rushed ending, 7 out of 10. Much better than I expected, 7 out of 10. Has potential, but ruined by the lazy plot twist, 6 out of 10. Bad reviews from those who wanted the original tattoo, don't we all? 9 out of 10. Not as bad as people make it seem, 5 out of 10. And Let the Sea Wash It Away, 3 out of 10. So, although there is negativity, there's some positivity in the reviews there. So it's one I will try and watch, because it's one of those films you think, well, it can't quite be as bad as what they're all saying, can it? But hey, well, anyway, you let me know what you think if you get to see it, please, in the comments below or on my Twitter account. The next one we're going to look at is Escape from Pretoria, a 12A, an hour and 46 minutes. This is a thriller co-written and directed by Francis Annan, and it stars Daniel Radcliffe and Daniel Webber, based on the 2003 book Inside Out, Escape from Pretoria Prison by Tim Jenkin, one of the escapees. It tells a true life story of political prisoners Jenkin, played by Radcliffe, and Stephen Lee, played by Webber, 2 white South Africans who, along with other prisoners, hatched a plot to break out of Pretoria Central Prison in 1979, after being imprisoned on charges of producing and distributing 18 different pamphlets on behalf of the banned organisations, including the ANC, during the apartheid era in South Africa. So again, we've got no real reviews on that one yet. That looks like quite an interesting watch, Escape from Pretoria 12A. If you do get to watch that, please let me know. So that's out at the cinema on the 6th of March. The next one we're going to look at is Military Wives. It's a 12A, an hour and 52 minutes, and it's a British comedy drama directed by Peter Cattaneo, Stars Kristin Scott Thomas, Sharon Hogan and Jason Fleming. And what's it about? Well, with their partners away serving in Afghanistan, a group of women on the home front from a choir and quickly find themselves at the centre of a media sensation and global movement. The film's inspired by the true story of the Military Wives Choirs, a network of 75 choirs in the British military bases across the UK and overseas. And they featured in the UK television series The Choir. Any good? Well, yeah, I mean, it's got a Metascore, the critics rating of 6.6 out of 10, and it scores anywhere between 5.8 and 7 out of 10. The Guardian Benjamin's Lee gave it 6 out of 10 and wrote, "We're in safe formulaic territory here. Think Calendar Girls with less nudity and more harmonising, and it's the film's strict adherence to the rules of this subgenre that proves to be both a blessing and a curse. It works for the most part because when done well, there's something irresistible about the formula, but there are also times when Military Wives starts to creep." And Joe Public, the people who managed to see previews of this up to now, Internet Movie Database rating of 6.4 out of 10, which isn't bad. And some of the comments: dire, cringy, tip-boxing PC propaganda, 1 out of 10. Sing Out, this will be a monster UK hit, 8 out of 10. Uplifting and emotional, 7 out of 10. Not perfect, but still worth watching. Moving story of love and friendship, 7 out of 10. So yeah, I do expect something like the Calendar Girls with this. So if you go and see Military Wives, please let me know what you think of it. And the next one we're going to look at is an animated one. It's Onward. It's a U-rated, 1 hour and 42 minutes. It's an American computer animated urban fantasy film produced by Pixar Animation for Walt Disney Studios, directed by Dan Scanlon. It also includes the voices of Tom Holland, Chris Pratt, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Octavia Spencer, Ali Wong, Lena Waithe, Mel Rodriguez, Wilmer Valderrama, Tracy Ullman, Kylie Bromheimer, and Dave Foley, George Passaras, and John Ratzenberger. So there's quite a few characters, isn't there? What's it about? Well, it's set in a fantastical world where the populace once had magic. 2 teenage elf brothers, Ian and Barley Lightfoot, receive a wizard's staff as a pre-arranged gift from their father, who died before Ian was born, and when Barley was too young to remember him. The staff came with a spell that will bring back for only 24 hours so his sons can meet him, prompted by Barley. Ian uses the spell only to end up with just his father's legs. This causes the brothers to go on a quest for a way to bring the rest of their father back before the time is up. An interesting premise. I mean, that's one hell of a plot as a storyline, isn't it? Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds an approval rating of 84%. That's pretty good, isn't it? 84% based on 75 reviews. It's got an average rating of just under 7.2 out of 10. The website's consensus reads, "It may suffer in comparison to Pixar's classics, but Onward makes effective use of the studio's formula and stands on its own merits as a funny, heartwarming, dazzling animated adventure." On Metacritic, the Metascore, the film has a weighted average not quite as high, 6.3 out of 10 based on 28 critics, and scores anywhere between 5 and 10. Screen Rant's Molly Freeman rated it 6 out of 10 and wrote, "Onward is a good but not great Pixar movie with a heartfelt, if emotionally manipulative storyline and plenty of film magic to propel it forward." Internet Movie Database user rating, Joe Public, 6.7 out of 10, so not a bad rating. Some comments: magical and emotional, 8 out of 10. Onward is decent, 7 out of 10. Fantastic, 10 out of 10. Pointless journey leads to bad Pixar movie, 1 out of 10. So basically positive, 1 or 2 bad ones there, but we get to explore the world of death, don't we, for the eyes of children. So it may be an interesting watch. If you go and watch Onward, please let me know. And the next one we're going to have a quick look at, Sulphur and White, which is a 15 rating, 2 hours, 1 minute drama, directed by Julian Gerald, stars Mark Stanley, Anna Friel, and Doug Ray Scott. It's about a city trader and mountaineer, David Tate, who is a man whose professional success masks a series of traumatic secrets. Yeah, so a bit of trivia. David Tate has climbed Mount Everest 5 times in the aid of the NSPCC and raised over £1 million. So this is a story about that gentleman, and it's a British-based story. So please, if you do get to watch that, let me know. There's not much information on that one just at the moment. And the last one we're going to look at today is called The Photograph. It's a PG-13, 1 hour and 46 minutes, an American romantic drama film written and directed by Stella McGee. It follows the estranged daughter, Issa of a famous photographer who falls in love with the journalist, Lakeith Stanfield, who is investigating her late mother's life. Chelsea Peretti, Lil Rel Harry, and Courtney B. Vance also star. Is it any good? Well, I mean, it has been on release in the US, and it's on a budget of 16 million. It's certainly got 18 million back at the moment. The critics on Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds an approval rating of 75%, which isn't bad, based on 81 reviews, with an average rating of 6.7 out of 10, just under. The website's critics consensus reads, gorgeous visuals, an affecting love story, and simmering chemistry between Issa Rae and Lakeith Stanfield keep the photographs solidly in focus. The Metascore rating, not quite as high, but not too bad. The film has a weighted average of 6.3 out of 10 based on 25 critics, and rates anyway between 4 and 7.5. IndieWire's Kate Erbland gave it 6 out of 10, and she wrote, if only the story that surrounded it was as strong and well crafted as the locales and people who populate it, the photograph would be more than worthy of affection. As it stands, it just never quite develops into anything more. I see the play on words there, very clever. Internet Movie Database user rating, Joe Public, it's got a 6.1 out of 10, so a definitely watchable rating. A couple of comments on there. The Ultimate Time Killer, 4 out of 10. Never seen a movie so bad, 3 out of 10. Great Sunday nap film, 6 out of 10. Movie was so slow going, it got boring, 3 out of 10. And the final positive comment, one of the best love stories I've seen, 8 out of 10. So perhaps a little bit slow and long-winded for some people. That's the photograph, which is also out. So that's this week's new releases at the cinema. I think Fantasy Island will be on a general release. Escape from Pretoria, more limited. Military Wives, I think, is on general release. Onward is on general release. Sulphur and White is a more limited release, and The Photograph will be on limited release. So they're all out at the UK cinema weekending or the 6th of March, which is the Friday. There may be some previews on the Wednesday, the 4th of March as well. So please keep your eyes open for them. And let me know in the comments if you see any of these films and what you think. And please follow me on Twitter at nostalgia_movie, and you can comment on there and check up on what's happening. I post lots of things, information on there, and I'm also on Facebook at Version of Me with links to moviegamenostalgia.com, my website for rare DVDs, posters, and board games. So if you can spend a few minutes to have a look on there, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thanks very much for joining me today for this little information on what's out at the cinema and the movie theatre if you're in the US. And anyway, thanks for watching today. Whatever you're going to do with the rest of your day, have a great one. Look after yourself, look after your friends, look after your family. And please join me, Bernard, again for something very, very soon, a movie special or a review or an information video. It'll be great. All the links are below. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.